It is scandalous and graphic. Claims of a drunken pool party where one police couple openly talked about extramarital affairs and made sexual advances to the female officer who was suing in this case, the third case of sexual harassment claims in 1 week. Hello, everybody. I'm Doug Proffitt.
And I'm Connie Leonard. And in this incident, it dates back to a 2020 pool party. Now, we're bringing you team coverage on this developing story. Taylor Woods has the mayor's reaction to the most recent allegations. But first, Jose Alonso read through the lawsuit. So, Jose, what are the complaints being brought?
Connie, the lawsuit dives deep into accusations that happened at an adult pool party at the home of Major Shannon Lauder and Lieutenant Jeff Lauder back in August of 2020. Now, Shannon Lauder, if you may remember, is the same person who recently made a sexual harassment allegation against another LMPD major. Now, at the pool party, Sergeant Lauren Carby claims that Jeff Lauder made multiple inappropriate comments and, quote, repeatedly made unwanted, unsolicited sexual advances towards her, which she repeatedly rejected. Carby claims Jeff Lauder told her his wife had given him permission to, quote, approach Lauren and to pursue an extramarital sexual relationship with her, and that Shannon had an ongoing relationship with another detective. In the suit, Carby said Shannon was, quote, often grossly inappropriate in front of and towards officers under her command in workplace environments. Carby's attorney, Sarah Collins, spoke today about this lawsuit.
They risk their lives for this community. Some sacrifice their lives for this community. And the very last thing they need is threat from inside the thin blue line. But this is happening over and over in this department where sexual harassment and sexual misconduct is rampant.
The lawsuit goes on to say Carby believes she was overlooked for future promotions because of what happened in 2020. An attorney for Shannon and Jeff Lauder says the couple has dedicated their careers to honorable policing for 16 years. In a statement, he says, quote, the timing of Carby's lawsuit appears opportunistic based on other recent sexual harassment claims against LMPD. Her allegations are unfounded. Now, LMPD launched an investigation in October of 2022, but a lawsuit filed by the FOP, that's the police union, it challenged the investigation, saying it was improperly initiated. Reporting in studio, Jose Alonso, WHAS11 on your side.
Okay, and we have a lot more of our coverage right here for you tonight at 5 o'clock. It has been 3 allegations, as we've been telling you about, of sexual harassment back-to-back for the police department since just last week. So let's take a closer look at the timeline of when these incidents allegedly happened. This is the 3rd time in the last week that a Louisville Metro police officer has come forward with sexual harassment allegations spanning years and multiple department leaders. Last week, Major Shannon Lauder's allegations against fellow Major Brian Curriger came to light. We don't have specific dates of when the incidents occurred, but her attorney says they're investigating ones that span the course of 4 years. That dates them back to 2020. The allegations in this new lawsuit, filed by Sergeant Lauren Carby, date back to 2020. That's when Carby says she was harassed at a pool party. Carby also claims that denying their advances prevented her advancement in the department years later in 2023. Then the other lawsuit filed earlier this week against LMPD deals with incidents from 2023. Officer Christine Silk accuses 2 supervising training officers, Justin Lemon and Dale Cottingem, of sexually harassing her on numerous occasions.
Now, it was just 1 week ago when Louisville Mayor Craig Greenberg announced the police chief would be going on administrative leave. He specifically cited her handling of a sexual harassment case as one of the reasons why. Now the mayor again late today facing reporters, the 3rd incident to come out since his decision to put the chief on leave. WHAS11's Taylor Woods, a photojournalist Aspen Hester, covered the late afternoon news conference. And what was the main message from the mayor this afternoon, Taylor?
Well, Doug and Connie, the mayor says everything is on the table at this point as he is still learning about more allegations inside Louisville Metro Police. He also says there will be significant changes within the police department, but he said this 3rd set of allegations filed by Officer Lauren Carby is concerning. And today, the mayor did confirm that Major Brian Kruger, accused of harassment by Shannon Lauder, was actually overseeing the investigation into the allegations outlined in this most recent lawsuit against the Lauders. The mayor says the investigation started in fall 2022 and was paused in May 2023 because of a lawsuit. He also said decisive action will be taken and the leadership of all parts of LMPD will be considered.
These allegations, as you know, took place in the past, but the way that they are handled is equally as important as the allegations themselves. All of that must be looked at, all of that must be addressed, all of that must be fixed, improved, and transformed. Sexual harassment will not be tolerated within LMPD, within any part of Louisville Metro government.
And Mayor Craig Greenberg has been working closely with his team and LMPD Acting Chief Paul Humphrey all week to make sure that LMPD is free from sexual harassment. But the mayor says he looks to announce those changes soon within the police department. Reporting live at Metro Hall, Taylor Woods, WHAS 11 on your side.
Taylor, picking up on one point that you reported right there, the mayor says Mayor Brian Kruger was investigating the accusations against the Lauders in 2020 about the pool party. A source in Metro government close to this case today tells us that Shannon Lauder's sexual harassment accusations made last week against Kruger actually stem from his questions to her about her actions during that 2020 pool party.
Now, this is what LMPD had to say about this newest lawsuit. We will not tolerate sexual misconduct as it runs afoul of our mission to provide a safe work environment for our entire team and city. LMPD initiated an investigation in October of 2022 into this matter. We are extremely frustrated we couldn't reach a conclusion to this investigation as the court sided with the FOP to temporarily stop the investigation from proceeding. We take this and all allegations of this nature seriously and will thoroughly complete our investigation and take action. We're currently reviewing all of the allegations in this lawsuit and will share more information as we are able to.
Now to the other big story happening today here in Louisville. 2 Louisville parents are now suing JCPS, claiming the district's decision to cut transportation for thousands of students coming up this school year is discriminatory. Well-known attorney Teddy Gordon filed the federal lawsuit today. He sued the district dozens of times in years past. And Isaiah Kim Martinez and senior photojournalist Alyssa Newton have been following this story closely for us. And Isaiah, this is a pretty straightforward claim, right?
Well, Connie, Doug, it is. It was only about 9 pages, a pretty easy read here. Their argument is very simple. 2 JCPS moms say the controversial choice by both the JCPS superintendent and board 2 months ago violates the constitutional rights, in their words, of thousands of black students.
So the tipping point was, how are we going to continue as a family to make sure that, he can finish out at Males?
It's the fallout from that contentious vote back on April 10th.
This is perhaps one of the most manipulative moves that this board has made.
Now, 2 frustrated Louisville moms are taking JCPS Superintendent Marty Polio and the school board to federal court.
You only have choices if you can provide transportation, if you have the means. So then that's not a choice. You're stuck at your home school.
Do you feel misled by the district in that way, or?
Yes, I do.
The plaintiffs, Mary Bledsaw and Taryn Bell, at a news conference called by well-known attorney Teddy Gordon on Thursday. Bledsaw has 2 high school boys, one who goes to Male and the other Central High. Bell has a rising 5th grader who has special needs. He goes to Whitney Young Elementary.
Financially, it would be a huge strain because right now my husband is disabled and then I'm the only one who can work.
The lawsuit puts race at the center of the issue, pointing to the board's vote to cut bus service for the majority of students attending magnet and traditional schools, about 14,000 kids. Gordon, who sued JCPS dozens of times in years past, notes 4 white board members voted for the new transportation plan, and 3 black members voted against it. He goes on to write, quote, "Civil rights are being eviscerated."
It's been a cataclysmic failure of busing. Whatever the Jefferson County Public Schools can do wrong, they continue to make it worse. they have disproportionately or discriminated against the African American students.
Superintendent Polio has said given their bus driver shortage, cuts are the only available way to reduce delays and missed instructional time. When asked for comment on the suit, a JCPS spokesperson telling us, quote, "We just received a copy of the lawsuit and are reviewing it." And JCPS's new transportation plan does maintain bus service. There's some exceptions here. For magnet and traditional schools with 75% or more kids on free or reduced lunch right now, that's Central and Western high schools. So we do want to note one of the students referenced in the lawsuit does go to Central. Gordon explained, saying they noted his case anyway because they want to make sure that doesn't change. Doug, Connie.
Isaiah, thank you. More news here tonight. Shane Ragland, the man who pleaded guilty to the sniper-style shooting of a Kentucky football player, Trent DeGiro, in Lexington in the 1990s, has been arrested in Franklin County, Kentucky.
He's accused of assaulting and threatening his mother and another woman earlier this month. Ragland was sentenced for the killing in the early 2000s, you may remember, but was freed several years later. He was paralyzed in a car crash in 2012. Now, according to the arrest warrant, on June 15th of this year, Ragland assaulted his mother, ran over her legs with his motorized wheelchair, threatened to kill her, and then forced her out of the house.
The warrant claims a friend then came over to help her back into the house and that Ragland then assaulted and threatened her as well. Ragland's mother told police the threats have been ongoing for several months. He's now charged with assault and terroristic threatening.
Metro police are trying to determine what caused a motorcyclist to lose control and crash into another car. It happened last night around 10:30 on Preston Highway and East Indian Trail. That's just east of the airport. Witnesses told police that a man riding a motorcycle crashed into a vehicle, causing the car to catch fire. The motorcyclist was not wearing a helmet and died at the scene. The driver of the car was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. He is expected to survive. And New Albany police are investigating a possible homicide after finding 56-year-old Sally Samorian dead inside a home. Police say just before 4 Wednesday, they were called to Greenview Drive, not far from Green Valley Road. A 23-year-old man was also there and is currently in custody under guard at a hospital in Louisville. Police tell us he is being treated for an unrelated issue. So far, police have not released any details about the victim, the man arrested, or their relationship. Police are not looking for any other suspects.
The other thing, of course, affecting all of us is this weather. We're in the middle of a heat wave. It's been hot, yes, very hot the last several days, but we told you today would be the day when the temperatures really started peaking as we get ready to the weekend.
Yeah, you can feel it out there. Definitely, it feels like it's just hotter in the air somehow.
Stifling and wears you out. Where you normally wouldn't be tired, you can feel the impact now of this heat.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
And Colleen Peterson is joining us now to track it going into the evening hours and through the weekend. Colleen?
Oh yeah, well that's for certain. We're at 92 right now, and tomorrow we might break record heat. So 92 is going to feel like a walk in the park with our forecast that we have in store. Right now it feels like 95, 97 at Bowman. Heat index not too bad. We're fairly on the drier side today. And over the next few hours we are going to be staying in the low 90s and then breaking down into the 80s past 10 o'clock. Tomorrow it is a very hot forecast, 97 degrees. In fact, our record heat temperature for tomorrow is 98. So we're very close to beating that. In fact, I think it's going to be a coin toss if we do or not. So it is going to be a hot forecast, upper 90s, but I am tracking when we're going to start to get some of that relief. This high pressure is dominating the majority of the southern United States, including Midwest. So all of that pink is hot air from the desert coming over to our region, which is why we're just so hot, and this high pressure is actually expected to retreat off to the west. So that's good news. Well, the farther away it is, the cooler temperatures, it looks like we'll have a trough starting to form, bringing some of that cooler Canadian air into our forecast next Wednesday. I'm showing you that temperature trend coming up. Doug?
Colleen, thank you. And just under an hour from now, Louisville Metro Council is going to vote on the budget for this fiscal year. Louisville Mayor Craig Greenberg releasing his proposal for the $1 billion-plus budget back in April, with almost half of the money dedicated to public safety. About $400 million would go to fire, EMS, and the Louisville Metro Police Department. The mayor says the money will be used to update facilities, retain and recruit personnel, and technology upgrades for the departments. More than $30 million would be used to create 15,000 affordable housing units in the city by the year 2027. The mayor wants $5 million for a nonprofit to create a path to universal pre-K over the next 5 years. Finally, $50 million would go toward quality of life improvements like street paving and sidewalk repairs. We're covering it for you. We'll have the results right here tonight at 11 on the WHAS 11 Night Team.